Okay, I have a brand new routine to share with you today. And as you can see, I have a good selection of card values, suits, and colors. There's 16 of them altogether. So I'll go ahead and gather these. Now, since the two of us just saw the cards, why don't we kind of mix them? So we'll do a left-right dealing here, and then I'll have you sound in. How would you like those stacked? Left on right? Okay. A note to you as the performer, you can carry out as many left-right dealings with random stacking decided by the spectator as you like or as the spectator likes. Okay? Now, I imagine many of you have heard of the Australian down under and also its close cousin, the under down. Now, the biggest complaint about those shuffles is that they just take too long if you have a lot of cards, okay? So what we're going to do today is we're going to do half the job in everything that we do, okay? And what I have found is sometimes even doing half of a job, it's really as good as doing the whole job, okay? So let me show you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the under-down shuffle, but just do it for half the cards. 8 cards. Okay, so let me just show you. So you go under, down, 1, under, down, 2, under, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I've done it for half the cards there. Now you can have one spectator or 2 spectators for this. Either one would be fine. I'll assume I have a spectator A over here on the left and a spectator B on the right. And then I'll hand them their individual packets, and they could even do this with my back turn. Just have them deal out their cards into 2 piles, just kind of like we did, with random stacking decided by them. So this is going to be independent actions, okay? So maybe left on right for spectator A, they may choose that. Spectator B may choose that as well, or maybe stack right on left. It really is a free choice. And then explain to both of them that they can perform as many left-right shuffles as they like, okay? And they truly can. So maybe spectator A says, well, I think I'll just do it one more time. And they don't even have to tell you as the performer. They just kind of quietly do it. Maybe they'll stack right on left. And then spectator B will say, well, he's satisfied with the cards as they are, okay? And then the final mixing we're going to do is a 50% under down yet again. So essentially, we're going to do half of the work of an under down. So you have spectator A perform it on his packet, and spectator B perform it on his or her packet there, okay? Now, explain to them that they can either do this or not do this, and they can do it as many times as they like to their individual packets, okay? So maybe spectator A, so let's assume he decides to do it just once. So he's going to go under, down, 1, 2, 3, 4. Stack the rest on top. And then maybe spectator B this time thinks, I want to do 2 of these, and that's fine. It's their choice. Under, down, 2, 3, 4. And then they wanted to do it a second time. That's fine. Under, down, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then ask both spectators if they're happy with the mixing of their cards. And if they want to do any additional left-right shuffles or this 50% under down, let them do it, okay? And now, to finish, all we're going to do is we're going to check whether my theory about doing half of a job is often just as good as doing a whole job. We're going to use that information to verify whether or not that claim is correct. Okay, so you turn to a spectator A and you just tell them, I'm going to separate your cards into 2 piles, and I'm going to use the phrase, do half the job. Okay, so let me show you how I'll do it. So do, D-O, set down a card, half, H-A-L-F, set down the next card, the, T-H-E, set down that card, and then job, J-O-B, Okay, so this is what has resulted from performing those actions on spectator A's piles. And then if spectator B's been following you, you could actually have them do this, or if they'd like you to perform it. So let's go ahead and apply the same system here. Do half the job. Do, D-O, half, H-A-L-F, the, T-H-E, job, J-O-B. Okay, so how did we do? Did we accomplish something interesting in terms of outcomes, doing kind of half the work? Because normally you would perform an entire under-down deal, okay? Now you might be wondering, what's the job that we were hoping to accomplish? And then we're really hoping that doing just half of it is enough. Well, without telling you, the job that we were hoping to accomplish was the separation of the face cards from the number cards. That's the hope. And each one of you hopefully have accomplished that. So let's take a look at spectator A. Oh, that's looking very good. Those are face cards. Hoping these are numbered. Oh boy, check that out. Spectator A, you nailed it. Okay, spectator B, you had very different choices actually in how you mixed your packet. Rewind the video and you'll realize that. So the state of the cards before we did this do half the job was very different than spectator A's. So how did we do? Did you do just as well? Oh boy, it's looking very, very good. You guys are amazing. Oh, check that out. And in some ways, you guys went above and beyond the expectation for this job, because the job was just to separate the face cards from the number cards. But in one case, you also separated them by color down here. That is amazing. Wow. Okay. Well, how does this work? Well, you just need the face cards. In fact, having the red and black separated was serendipity. Okay, that's kind of nice. But that's we can't really guarantee that. Okay, we can guarantee that the face cards will be separated from the number cards. Okay, so let me just show you the setup, and then everything else is self-working. So you just stack face cards, number cards. And then what we need to do is push off pairs into this triangle configuration. So this is where we're going to convert it eventually to a Quasi-Bessey sequence of order 16. Follow that up with either a Monge over-under or under-over. Either one works just fine. And then we will have arrived at the packet, or the kind of packet that I started with. Okay. In fact, in some ways, you could even show the spectator those actions, because they're going to just wonder what in the world's going on. Okay. And then you can display the cards. Now, when I did this, I kind of had a lot of like reds and blacks in one place. So you can, if you want to do a little bit of adjustment just to make it look a little less somehow systematic in terms of the colors. So maybe I'll go here, then like that. Okay, so it's good to have just a mixture of colors. Maybe don't have 4 red or black in a row, even though that does happen by chance alone. So something like this. So if you begin with this and then just follow the steps, this is going to work perfectly. And I will add a link in the description below to Bessey sequences and Quasi-Bessey sequences, which is what we used here. Now it is true, when I did the 50% under down to split this in two, each of those individually was a Bessey sequence of order 8. Okay, and that organization is invariant relative to this 50% under down, as well as the left-right dealing, as well as hundreds of other mixing procedures that I've shared on my channel. But we've kind of focused on just 2, left, right, and then this 50% under down. Okay, well now you know the secret, and thank you for watching, and I encourage you to take a look at other videos on the Absolute Math Magic channel.